Hello, hello. Happy Tuesday to everyone here. Welcome in. Let me make sure we're all good here. Let me make sure we get this tweeted out. I think we are good and live. How's everyone doing? Huge NHL slate going on today, so we're going to do our usual, what is it, 10, 11 games? Joe, welcome in. Thank you. We got a couple things to take a look at. Obviously, I believe every goalie has now been locked in. I think Reimer's expected, not confirmed. Other than that, I think we're good. I think we have almost every single goalie locked in, which is good. That'll give us a nice little base to work off of. We're going to, we're going to go through lines. We're going to go through starting goalies. Then we're going to focus on the game lines, totals, money lines, see if we can get a nice card out of that. And then finally, we'll talk a little bit of player props at the end. So, as per usual, if you guys have any questions, if you guys have any players you want me to take a look at, please feel free. I am reading the chat. If I don't get to it right away, I'll get to it when we get on that game. I like to go game by game. And as always, if you guys haven't already signed up for ProfitX, code Cheddar gets you $300 back in bonus catch over your first month. Available in 40 to 50 states. So I appreciate you guys all the support. And yeah, let's get right into it. Tea time, what's up, man? How you doing? I also, actually, one last thing. Ooh, focus camera. I'm wondering if live bets will be back today. If live bets are back today, we will be playing, or I'll probably be doing live sweats later as well. But again, that's assuming that live bets are back. It seemed like it was glitched yesterday, but it also didn't look very good for us because they just kind of pulled the entire live market down. So we're going to see what they do. I hope they're not back because it's really become the only way I've enjoyed playing shots on goal. But we'll see how that goes, and I'll kind of keep you guys updated as we go through that as well. Let's see here, make sure there's no news, nothing else. Okay. Starting goalies, like we said, UC Saros just got confirmed. I don't think it really matters. I think he's slightly better than Justus Annunen, but all in all, I think Carolina, especially at home, rolls today. Anton Forsberg with James Reimer expected. Seems like two backup goalies, but both Forsberg and Reimer have been okay of late. Even with that, Ottawa scores more on the road. Ottawa allows more goals on the road. Buffalo scores and allows more goals at home. I posted the over early today as my first play of the day. Still on that, I took the over 6. Like it a ton with these two opponents. I think usually when these two match up, you get goals. And I expect kind of more of the same there. Jari versus Vasilevsky. I mean, typically you'd say huge advantage to Tampa Bay in goaltending, but man, Jari's been good of late. Tristan Jari's had a real nice little comeback tour, so curious to see how he does today. Urson versus Stolars. Urson might as well. He might drop to the worst goalie in hockey. He's the third worst goalie in hockey. Jesus Christ, Philly. We'll be targeting him in some capacity. I think he's horrendous. He's just awful, and I have no doubt in my mind that Toronto will be able to score against him today. Stolars hasn't been better than Woll of late. Woll actually has been better since Stolars came back from injury, from what I've seen. But still, Stolar's been a really good goalie today. So again, I think Toronto's in a nice spot. Thompson versus Hellebuck. Hellebuck's been the elite guy he's been all year. Thompson's fallen off a little bit. He hasn't been the same level of elite Vezina caliber that he's been up till halfway through the season. But still a good goaltending matchup. Bennington, Montembeault, both very good goalies and both best on their teams. Hill with Fleury unconfirmed, but Fleury's pretty confirmed. Minnesota played last night. Gustafsson went last night. I see zero chance that Fleury doesn't go today on a back-to-back. I think you'll have Hill versus Fleury against his ex-team. Talbot versus Blackwood. A little rough there. Mrazek got hurt yesterday. So there was some talk about Alex Lyon. Looks like Cam Talbot will go in net today. I actually need to check how he's been this year. I think he's been pretty good. He has been. He's plus 10 above. What about his last 10 games? Has he been? Last 10, he's fallen off a little bit, but overall, he's been good on the year, which is good. Much better than Peter Mrazek. Still, I think Colorado at home, where they dominate on a back-to-back Red Wings team with travel yesterday, I think Colorado takes care of business and scores a ton of goals today. No goalie confirmation yet, but I expect Joey Daccord in Seattle. I don't see a reason why they'd go Grubauer. Only way they really go Grubauer is if they just want to give Daccord a break. Daccord hasn't been really good in the second half of the season, so maybe they try to switch it up. If it is Grubauer, I'll be even heavier on the Flames. I like the Flames to win either way. And then Shesterkin versus Kemper. Again, Shesterkin unconfirmed, but Rangers kind of every game's a must-win right now. I know that you might want to play Jonathan Quick against his ex-team. In my opinion, that's a pretty stupid thing to do. I would absolutely just run your number one goalie right now and kind of run him the entire way. So, all right. I think that's everything here. Let's go through the lineups now, see if there's been any lineup changes. Our favorite, the Winnipeg Jets. I can't make my usual joke because they have changed their lines around. So, Kulich draws back in. Peterka and Tuck, so big line changes here actually for Buffalo. Benson, Kulich, Thompson is the top line. No Norris, who's still out with injury. Jacob Bernard-Docker comes in. I don't believe he was top 4 previously. Oh no, Yoki Haru got traded. Norris, Kulich still day-to-day, but it looks like he's going to play today. Greenwood as well. Greenway, I'm sorry. Calgary, sticking with the line combo changes that they made, I believe it was in New Jersey or may have been against New York. Huberdeau split up from Kadri, but it's working out. Kadri's been really, really good of late. Decor looks the same from what I know. Carolina, business as usual with no Svechnikov. Love the top line. Jarvis and Aho just work really, really well together. Expect them to continue to do the same. Defensively, same old. Colorado, love this top line. They've been cooking 5-on-5. I believe they're both on the first power play as well. Yep, both on the first power play as well. I think Val and Druin both have a really, really big game today. Excuse me. Columbus don't play today. Dallas, Detroit. Not much you can really say about Detroit. They won yesterday. It wasn't pretty. They didn't look good doing it, but they won, and they need wins right now more than basically any team in the NHL. Looks like no changes from now. I will say, typically teams that played the last, like yesterday, they don't have a morning skate, so even if they wanted to change lines up, we wouldn't see it. I think after a win, they would keep it the same regardless. LA, I mean, they've been cooking 14 goals in the last 2 games, back-to-back 7-goal games. Again, I see zero reason or way that they don't just run this back. I think this overall looks very, very good. Wild, there's really not many changes they can make. Until they get guys like Kaprizov and Joel Eriksson Ek back, they're kind of stuck with this. I don't think there's anything much better or worse. Although I will say, I have no idea who Cameron Crotty is. I think I saw Jonas Brodin might be coming back relatively soon. So keep an eye on that one as well. Oh, I forgot to send this out. Cool. Here we go. Montreal do play today. Again, another team, I don't expect much changes from them. One of the hotter teams in the NHL, especially since post-Four Nations. Huge game for implications on both Montreal and St. Louis here today. I see no changes, though, in this lineup. I think I saw Caden Gooley might be close to returning, though, for Montreal. Preds, I don't think this is... Oh, no, this is a change. Colton Sissons, I want to say, was centering this line previously. So now they've bumped up Bunting with Stamkos. I like that second line, although I'm not sure if Stamkos has the legs to play center anymore, but neither does Ryan O'Reilly. Defensively, still no Roman Josi. I think they're probably just shutting him down for the rest of the year. Isles do not play today. Rangers, do they have a morning skate today? They did. These are the lines they went up. So Brennan Othman goes up to the top line. Cooley drops down with Zibanejad and Kreider. And Brodzinski on the top 6. Interesting line combos. I'm curious to see Brennan Othman. I know he's got good potential. Hasn't really had an opportunity to kind of show that right now. But it's a curious look. LA's a pretty tough team, though. Do you think Tyson Forster gets 2 shots? I haven't gotten to that game yet. I'm just going through lines real quick. I'll double check and make sure I take a look at that line, though. Ottawa, same lines. This Cousins-Batherson pair has been really, really good. They've kind of been the best 5-on-5 line for them. I want to see more of Zetterlund. I'm a big Zetterlund fan, so I want to see how he does on that top line. He looked good. He had some chances against New Jersey, but wasn't able to pot one. Yeah, I really hate this Philadelphia team. I think they're so poorly put together. They got some nice pieces, but all in all, like this team just isn't very good. I'll take a look at Tyson Forster for your Rockstar very, very shortly. I think Toronto Philly's one of the first games too. Pittsburgh, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're running the exact same lines. Their team's been able to score lately. Jari's been able to keep the puck out of the net. Probably not the time they really wanted to heat up right now, ruining their draft pick, but I think all in all, the team's still relatively pretty bad. I think Tampa Bay will take care of them today. Kraken, do you play today? They do against the Flames. Shane Wright from fourth line to top line. I think that's more so to do with the Chandler Stevenson injury more than anything. Seems like Stevenson is still out. I think Shane Wright's had a quietly good season. Is pretty underrated for a point. I just don't love it against Calgary at home. Calgary's home road splits are insane. Much better defensively at home. And Dustin Wolf's stats. I think I showed this to you when they played the Devils last week. Dustin Wolf becomes like a stonewall goalie at home, where he's kind of like on the road. Blues, I mean, again, no changes here. Dalibor Dvorsky comes out. I forget who came in for him. Might have been Radek Faksa. I forget exactly, but actually, no, I think it's Texier. Regardless, top six the same. Power play, defense, they're not changing a thing right now. They are the hottest team in hockey right now, so St. Louis, keep it going. They got a 3-point buffer on that last playoff spot. They have, I think, played one more game than Vancouver. Regardless, all very important games. Jim Montgomery's done a fantastic job there. Tampa Bay, finally. Kucherov is back with Gensel in point. I am a very, very huge fan of this kind of lineup construction in their top nine. I think this line just works best for them when they're looking to generate offense. Gensel in point seemingly, I don't want to say need Kucherov, but perform at a much higher level when Nikita Kucherov's on their line, where Hagel and Cirelli are still able to convert and generate chances. Obviously, they won't generate chances at the same amount as when Kucherov's on the line, but they're still able to generate chances enough for themselves. Where Gensel and Point, I feel like they're such like net front goal guys that Kucherov feeding them and kind of playmaking for them and drawing attention away from them helps them a ton. First power play, your usual. I do like that Brandon Hagel's not on the first power play. He just doesn't really seem to fit with these guys. I see Gensel, Point, and Hagel as very similar players. Where having Bjorkshin with like a big shot could kind of help a little bit more split that up. And it's nice to have a right-handed shot, too. I believe Bjorkshin's right-handed. Toronto, I don't think you're going to see any changes here. Scott Lawton up to the third line. Little revenge game angle if you think he's going to go up against that Philly side. But I think Toronto runs today. They got to pile together some wins and feel good about themselves coming into playoffs. I think Philly's the perfect team to really feel good about yourself when you're going here. So I like the Toronto side a ton. Vancouver doesn't play. Vegas does. Unfortunate injury at the end of that Tampa Bay game to Thomas Hertl. We don't know how long he's going to be out, but we do know that he's most likely not playing today. I believe it's down as day-to-day, right? Nope, he's going to be out for a little bit. He did not travel with them, so that's at least 3 games that he's going to miss. He's been incredible for them. I thought they'd bump up William Karlsson, but again, they have not had a morning skate or a skate at all, seems like, so we don't know the exact lines. I'd wait till line combos. My personal opinion, you see William Karlsson just kind of go up in that second line center role. That would make the most sense to me. Washington changes. So Strome and Ovi are back together. No more Dubois and Ovi and Strome and Wilson. So it's Protas, Strome, Ovi back together in Washington. Tough matchup against Hellebuck, though. I don't know how much I like that. And finally, I can't end on Winnipeg hasn't made any lineup changes. Not through anything of their own. I'm sure they didn't want to make these changes. But sadly, Gabriel Velarde got hurt last game. He's going to be out week to week. For me, I just think they're going to hold him till playoffs. No reason to risk it because they're going to need him come, April. Alex Iafallo goes from the fourth line to the first line. Big opportunity for him. He's plus 160 for a point, which is really, really nice value. Scheifele and Connor as well is nice. They also split up Ehlers with Nemestikov and Perfetti. So they swapped those 2 lines around. Ehlers now with Lowry and Appleton. I think that's because this Ehlers a little bit too offensive. You give him a couple insulation with some good defensive players. And Nemestikov and Perfetti, they're continuing to kind of generate 5-on-5, so they might not need the help of Ehlers. Overall, I like the lines. Defensively, same old. DeMello's been really good of late. They need Neil Pionk back, but I like this team and their overall build. And obviously, Connor Hellebuck is fantastic. So, all that talking to get into this. Toronto, Philly, I think Toronto runs today. I really would like to take the team total. I'm still waiting on that market to get put up here on ProfitX, but I'm still a big fan of if you don't have it, I can't even speak. If you don't have the team total, I like the -1.5 on Toronto side. I think they win pretty big today. Philly, let me pull up their stats views real quick. Yeah, so Philly has lost. They're keeping them close, though. They've lost 9 of their last 10 road games, but 3 of those 9 they kept within a 1-goal game. So only 6 of 10 have covered. I think Toronto's better than that. The teams they didn't cover against were Pitt, where they lost 5-4, Utah, where they lost 3-2. But then Washington and Dallas are good games, and they covered 3-2 in both of them. I like them to give up goals. I mean, they just gave up 7 to Chicago. If you're letting the Chicago Blackhawks score 7 against you on the road, then you would hope Toronto could do the same. I think that team's just kind of fallen apart. I really do. They can't score. Philly has this inability to score, averaging 1.4 goals per game in their last 10 on the road. I think Toronto wins. I think the price is a little bit too high on the money line for me, but I think Toronto wins. If you need something, I'd take them to cover. I also like their team total as well. Another one, Nashville on the road. We talked about this multiple times, but Nashville is actually a pretty stand-up team. They just beat the Toronto Maple Leafs at home. The Predators were at home. The Predators are not a bad NHL team at home. They actually have a decent ability to score somewhat on there. Dinger, what's up, man? How you doing? But they are one of the worst road teams in hockey. This is not where you want to go into because, well, the Carolina Hurricanes are 27-8 effectively at home, and they're pretty mediocre on the road. I think the Carolina Hurricanes absolutely run. I mean, absolutely run away with this game today. You're, again, talking about one of the worst home teams or road teams against one of the best home teams. I guess the only thing I would say, it's Carolina's first game back from a long road trip. Sometimes there's a little bit of like jet lag and stuff like that because they're out on the West Coast in LA and whatnot. But they had the extra day to rest and recover from that. I think Carolina wins. It's another one. It's chalky. I think Carolina most likely covers. If you could guarantee me Nashville scores 2 goals, I like the over because I think Carolina scoring 4 or 5. But I just don't know if Nashville's scoring. Their road offense is horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. Ottawa, Buffalo, we talked about this previously. I love the over. I love the over in this game. A lot of people, when you see this, you're kind of visual learners, and I'm the same way when I like to see it myself. Buffalo's giving up the most goals per game in the NHL right now. They are the worst defensive team in hockey, giving up 4 goals a game. Not on the road, sorry. Well, we'll go on the road, actually. Ottawa's giving up the 7th most goals on the road. They are the road team. For me to hit this over, the way I always look at it is the worst team, or the team that I predict to be worse, going to score goals? I like the fact that Ottawa... Ooh, I just lost something. I don't know how I just lost the comments. There we go. I like the fact that Ottawa's giving up goals on the road. Now, Anton Forsberg has had really good stats this season. He's been good by goals saved above expected. He hasn't been Ullmark good. Ullmark's been another level in his last 10 games. You're looking at last 10. Ullmark's been very, very good. That's not to discredit what Forsberg's done. Sorry, not last 10, all season. That's not to discredit what Forsberg's done. Forsberg has actually been a plus goalie this year. He's not Ullmark's level. I think that gives us a little bit of value. On the Buffalo side, they're not confirmed yet. It's expected that it's Reimer, but it might be Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. I hope it's UPL. I think UPL is even better for the over. But all in all, even the best, when you're looking at goals saved above expected, it takes into account the defense that's there. Reimer, although being +6 in this category, still gives about 3 a game. So I think Buffalo is a team to target for goals. I think Ottawa in must-win situation, they're going to be scoring. And Buffalo's been playing actually a pretty decent job at spoiler. So I think Buffalo at home, They know how to score goals, and I think the 6 is a nice safer number. 5.5 was like minus 140 to two. It's a little bit out of my price range. I like the 6. I'll take the push potential. I think we can see like a 5-2 or a 4-3 game here. And then finally, on the offensive side of things, at home, if I remember correctly, Buffalo's a top 10 offense at home. Again, it's on the road where Buffalo really seems to struggle. They're able to score goals at home, which is nice. When you look on the other side on the road, Ottawa's definitely worse on the road. But now you're going, do you trust the Buffalo defense to stop them? I don't trust the Buffalo defense to be able to stop anyone right now. David, hopefully I didn't mispronounce that. 5 games in 8 days is tough, but I think at this point there's kind of wear and tear on every single team. Buffalo's another team that just came off a road trip too, right? They were in Utah last game. I believe that was Saturday. Was that Saturday, Friday night? I forget which day it was. I don't know. I just think Buffalo will be able to get us goals. And if Buffalo can get us 2-3 goals, I think the 6 is relatively safe because I don't see them being able to stop Ottawa. Pittsburgh versus Tampa Bay. This is one of those where I'm not 100% sure on. I think the over's gone a little bit too high. I like Jake Gensel because of the narrative, right? I think Jake Gensel against his old team, back on the top line with Kucherov and point. I think they'll score 2 or 3. 6.5 is too high of a line for me. Jarry's been playing really well. You got to give a guy credit. I think a lot of people just look at Tristan Jarry and assume he's bad because he has been very bad this year. His last 10 games, he's been an above-average goalie. He's picked it up. He's been better than what we've expected out of Tristan Jarry. I think over 6.5 is a little bit too high for my liking, but it's more of a stay-away game for me. I don't really want to bet against Tampa, bet against Pittsburgh. The one thing Pittsburgh knows how to do is score goals. They play pretty bad defense. I'll stay away from it. I'd lean under, but it's not an official for me. Washington-Winnipeg's such a tough game. Because on one hand, you have the number 1 and 3 ranked offense in hockey, I believe. Double check that. The number 1 and 3 ranked offense in hockey. On the opposite side, you have the number 1 and 3 ranked defense in hockey. So which one trumps here, basically? Are you going to get 2 really good offenses that are going to score a ton of goals? Or are you going to get 2 really good defenses with good goalies in net that are going to limit goals? Too risky for me, in my opinion. I would most likely lean to the under in this game, but again, it's not an official. I also like the Winnipeg Jets to win. I like the Winnipeg Jets to win today. This is a pretty big game for the... Oh, wow. That's a huge game for the President's Trophy. This is a close game. I don't know. I lean Winnipeg just because they're better at home, but Washington's got an insane home record. The Capitals have taken everyone by surprise, huh? I don't know, man. I didn't realize the Capitals' home or road record was that good. That's a tough one. I might change that to a lean. I don't think I'm going to officially take Winnipeg. Something I do like, though, is the over in Minnesota versus Vegas. Vegas, one of the best offenses in hockey. Minnesota's had a very good defense in their last 10 games. I'll show you that real quick. Bring that up. We'll talk about why. Minnesota's had the 4th best defense in hockey. 2.2 goals per game. I feel like I have a sneeze coming on. Sorry about that. The reason why it's been so good is Gustafsson just playing out of his mind. Fleury's been good. He's not been Gustafsson good. Vegas, didn't mean to do that. Vegas, on the other hand, you're talking about top 5 offense in hockey. They do score more at home than they do on the road. But still, you're talking about the 4th best offense in hockey right now. I think Vegas is able to score with the best of them. I think Vegas will be able to, pot you a couple goals. I think Minnesota, after getting shut out yesterday, you go right back into it and you trust their offense. I don't think Aiden Hill's that good. I don't think that Vegas team is that good. Vegas, another one of those teams, give up a lot more goals on the road. A lot more goals on the road. So I like that. I'll probably play the five. Over six is 122. Can I get the 5.5? You can get the 5.5 at minus 105. I'd like that side better. Montreal St. Louis is the game of the day. Game of the day. You're talking, I think, the two best teams in hockey since Four Nations break. Montreal fallen off slightly, but they keep losing in overtime, which is huge for their points total. St. Louis just keeps winning games, man. I mean, Jim Montgomery's done a fantastic job with that organization. I think St. Louis continues to roll. I think St. Louis wins today. I just like their team makeup and the way they're playing better right now. They're also one of those teams. They're good on their side. Rockstar, we're going to get into player props shortly. I'm just doing the game lines real quick. Don't worry, I didn't forget about you. Kings Rangers SGP. I don't know if that's the game for it, Kenneth. I appreciate the comment regardless. I don't know if that's the game for it. I think Kings Rangers could be pretty boring. That's one of those where, like, because it's the last game of the day, it's at 10:30. We could see how we do earlier in the games, and if we got some house money to play with, we could always kind of put something together. I like St. Louis to win this game. Minus 140 is kind of a price, but they're the hottest team in hockey right now. I don't have a side on overs or unders. Both these teams have had good offenses of late, but both of these teams also playing good defense. That's why they're starting to win games. They're playing both sides of the puck, and I'm fine with either one. I think Colorado minus 1.5 is one of my officials today. Colorado at home is just a different beast for goals, man. That altitude is tough to get used to. They score a ton of goals. 8-1-1 in their last 10. You're getting a Detroit team that's, lack of a better word, floundering. I know they beat Utah yesterday on some two pretty lucky goals. They didn't look good against Utah yesterday. Now you're in a back-to-back. Your starting goalie's hurt. Your backup goalie and Alex Lyon can't go today. So now you're, I guess, Cam Talbot as your third string going. And when's the last game Cam Talbot's played for? Or played in? That's a genuine question. Oh, he played 2 days ago. Okay. He gave up 5 goals against Vegas. Besides that, I mean, he's played 3 games in the last 3 weeks. I think he'll be relatively rusty. And I think Colorado, they're just insane. We talk about their lineup right now. This top 6, unreal. Ross Colton and Charlie Coyle on your third line. Jack Drury, Logan O'Connor in your fourth. You're just getting depth thrown at you the entire game. One of my favorite leans from this game as well, if you guys have the props. Philip, I do like the slate today. It's really good for some points. Detroit has a horrendous penalty kill. Dead last in the NHL of late. Detroit's penalty kill, dead last in the NHL overall. When you look at teams you do not want to have a bad penalty kill against, not many come up past the Colorado Avalanche. I think, especially if they take penalties and they play undisciplined, Colorado's going to score 1, if not 2 power play goals today. I like that a lot. David, I'm going to take a look at player props, like I said, shortly. But I'm in love with Dylan Cousins today. I think most of the community is, which is what scares me a little bit about him. But I think Dylan Cousins for a point. That line with Batherson's been doing really well. He's been getting decent shot volume. I think he's on the first power play still as well, if I remember correctly. I'll double check that as well. But Colorado against Detroit, I actually don't think I've locked that in yet, so let me lock that in. I think Colorado runs today, and they. I don't think it's going to be pretty for a Detroit team that's just been struggling lately. Seattle versus Calgary. I lean Calgary heavily. I think that's one of those teams where I was really impressed with them on the New York trip. They got crushed by, what is this? They got crushed by Toronto, but then they go into New York and they beat the Devils, beat the Rangers, beat the Islanders. Usually a pretty difficult thing to do. I'm very impressed by that team. They're better at home, which I really like. And all in all, I think Calgary is going to continue to play well. Seattle team missing Chandler Stevenson, their number 1 point getter. They looked pretty bad against a Edmonton team without Leon Draisaitl and without Connor McDavid. I think Calgary continuing in that playoff run. I think they win today. They like the price on their money line as well. And then finally, Rangers Kings. I don't really have a side for either one of these. I really like the New York Rangers playing a little bit more desperate. They looked good in that last third period against the Vancouver Canucks. They got outplayed, but they found a way to win, and that counts for something. They're going to need Igor Shesterkin to be good. LA Kings are one of the hottest offenses in hockey, 14 goals in the last 2 games. I'm not betting against the LA Kings, though, am I? I think we've talked about it on here a lot. Oh, I love my home road splits. There might not be a better home team in hockey than the LA Kings. Oh, the Rangers on the road. They're actually better on the road. It's probably a stay away game from me. LA doesn't need this as badly as New York does. They really don't. I'm going to stay away from this game, but I'd probably lean LA to win. You're getting a decent price on minus 150 money line for a really good home team. Let's look at some props. So we briefly talked about it. This line of Cousins and Batherson has been really good of late. I know they had no shots against the Devils. The Devils kind of dominated that game in the third once they took the lead. Cousins has a point in, when did he get traded? I think it was the game right before that. Has a point now in 7 of his last 8 games. He's still plus money for a point. You got the revenge angle over back in Buffalo. You know he's going to be fired up to play there. His line mate is taking a lot of good things with him, though. With Cousins doing really well, his line mate's doing well as well. Points in 5 of his last 6 games. What is that? 7 points in his last 6 games as well. One of my favorite pairs, and they're all like plus 225 when you're pairing the two of them. You can get their 2 points each at like plus 1,800, which is quite nice. One of my favorite point pairs today. Talk about Pittsburgh Buffalo. I'm all in on Sidney Crosby. I think Sidney Crosby's got an insane head-to-head. He's playing the best hockey of the season right now. Sid's on this insane tear, going for that point per game record. He's been playing really well. When you're going over on the other side, though, I think Jake Gensel's going to have a big game against his ex-team. I know he hasn't put up many stats, but he hasn't played him much. I don't believe... Yeah, so he's actually played him twice this year. That one game here, I believe, was with Carolina. 2 points in 2 games as a Tampa Bay Lightning against Pittsburgh, from what I understand. Gensel's got really good home splits. I think Gensel's going to have a good game back with Kucherov and point on that line. I like the Jake Gensel angle. Another one, do they have Gage Gonzalez? He's been kind of sneaky for a point recently. No, they don't. It's okay. Nashville, Carolina, I mean, there's really just 2 guys. It's Aho and Jarvis for me. Those are the guys that make things tick. If you want a sneaky one, though, Taylor Hall's been putting up some pretty big points. I expect him to sign a contract extension with Carolina very soon. He just fits their style. Good skater. He's not really been known to be like the biggest effort guy. Like he's had this like knock in the past, but when he was with the Devils, I'll tell you this, as a Devils fan, never had an issue with his effort. I think he fits in really well. He kind of sees that this is like, he's been on so many teams. He wants to find one stick. He's played really good for them. Played really, really good for them. Fox Matthews, I took Matthews and JT 2 points each. My stack that I go with would be Nylander, JT. Just because Nylander and JT play together, they can get that on 2 goals. But again, that power play we talked about Detroit, and I like that you brought that up. Pittsburgh on the year, or recently, not Pittsburgh, Philly, is an equally bad penalty kill. Toronto's got a good power play. I like the angle a lot. But again, when I do the pairs, I like to run guys that play together. JT and Nylander are together 5-on-5. They're together on the points as well, or on the power play as well. Top scorer today, Ched. I really like Jake Gensel. I think Gensel against his old team is fun. Also Valerie Nichushkin, I like a lot today. Top 4 points people today. I mean, do you care if it's chalk? Because if you want to go chalk, you can go chalk. Like, I think McKinnon's in a great spot. I think Kucherov's in a good spot, not great. I think any of the Toronto guys, Matthews, Marner, are in really good spots today. It's a pretty relatively, straightforward slate. Where were we? Let's finish this up. No one on Nashville side. I don't bet on Nashville on the road. We've talked about this. I think that's it. I think that's it for this one. Philly, Toronto, because I know my guy Rockstar wanted me to ask about Tyson Forster. Where is he? He's been good of late. His volume's been nice of late for a 1.5, and he's got good head-to-head against Toronto. I like the spot. I personally have just kind of shut out live betting for myself. Live betting. Shot on goal betting, except for lives. We'll see if lives come back, so we'll see how that goes. But all in all, I'm a huge fan on the. Oh, Jesus Christ, I can't talk today. On the Toronto side, William Nylander at home, fantastic stats. He's significantly better at home. JT, 74% at home. Really good head-to-head stats in Philly against Philly. Had good stats against them going back to his time as an Islander. I like John Tavares a lot today, minus 158. Fantastic spot. I paired him with Nylander just because they're going to be together the entire game. Knowing that Marner and Matthews are going for 8. Vegas, Minnesota, I'm kind of scared off on most of the props here. I like Dorofeyev a ton, but I'm wondering how the loss of his line mate Hurdle, who's been really good with, affects him today. I'm going to stay away from Dorofeyev, see how it goes. On the Minnesota side, that offense just been struggling. Rockstar, I said I do like Tyson Forster. He had a good head-to-head, and overall his volume's really good for a 1.5 line guy. The only one was, I think it was Matthew Boldy. He shoots a decent bet against him. He did. Last 2 games he hasn't. And Boldy typically puts up points against them. I like to back teams for teams that just get shut out. I think a lot of times you're going to see a little bit more effort, a little bit more urgency to get pucks on net. So again, I lean the over in this game just because I think Vegas will be able to score on Fleury. But I think Minnesota's going to get you 2. I'm not a big believer in Adin Hill personally. Minnesota St. Louis is a tough game. Jordan Kyrou home shots, I think it has to be one of them. He's been really consistent at home. He's got really good head-to-head against Montreal as well. Again, I know I don't love the home shots. I just don't love shots in general. But he's been great for you. The pair with him has just been on fire. He's got points in 6 straight games now. Him and Braden Shen have kind of been that hot pair. If you're looking for something there. On the other side, it's pretty straightforward. Lane Hudson keeps putting up points, getting those apples on the power play. Then it's your Suzuki, Caulfield. Slavkovsky's really upped his game of late. Uri Slavkovsky has really upped his game of late. That top line's cooking right now. I just don't know if I lean the Montreal or St. Louis side. I don't know which team I think would do better. That's my only worry. Second, just quick Discord. Okay. Zachary Bolduc as well. Bolduc still line 1? He is. Bolduc might not be a bad look as well. Plus 120 for a point. You're not going to get much better odds than this. Playing with Robert Thomas, I believe he's first power play as well. First power play with Robert Thomas, especially with the Pavel Buchnevich injury. Could be a nice sneaky look for a point. He's got a point in 7 of his last 9. Holloway's been great. Holloway's been the guy on that Kyrou Shen line. He's the 3rd guy in. Minus 142 is not bad. He's got a point in 7 straight games now. Holloway's taking a huge step. It was a great move by them in the offseason to offer sheet them from Edmonton. Washington, Winnipeg. I want to stay away from most of this stuff, but I do like a little sneaky. Where is it? Where the hell is he? There he is. Alex Iafallo, his point line doesn't look great. I know nothing about this looks that great. Purely from the fact that you're playing 5-on-5 and on the first power play now with Mark Scheifele and Kyle Connor. The value's there with him. Kyle Connor and Mark Scheifele basically are 2 point per game guys at home. If they're going to put up any goals, I think Alex Iafallo's in a nice spot today. The opposite side, Alexei Protas has been fantastic for this team. He's been one of the biggest revelations for the team and a big reason why they've taken the steps they have right now. I personally do not bet against Connor Hellebuck. I know he's going to give about 1 or 2 goals a game. I don't want to try and snipe that one. I try to find the spots where a team's going to score 5 or 6 and hope my guy's in one of them. I will not be betting against Connor Hellebuck, but if you want someone on the Washington side, it's Alexei Protas for me. Detroit, Colorado, again, it's that entire top line. Druin, Nichushkin, When you're playing with Nathan McKinnon, he makes hockey look easy, and he makes to like a normal fan that's just like watching the game. It's like I could probably do that. I know you probably couldn't. It takes a lot of talent to be in the right positions like these guys are. But with Detroit on a back-to-back, backup goalie in net, tired legs, I like that one a lot. Juiced, if you have a no sweat, the twos on Gensel, Jarvis, Nylander, Valerie might be real nice. That especially on Fanatics, because Fanatics has some good two like alt point lines. Nathan McKinnon's the chalky one, but he's brilliant at home, man. You know Nathan McKinnon's he'll put up a point for you at home. On the other side, I don't know if I trust anyone. Clapfest tonight. People like Bellows is scoring. Let me get a bet on Kiefer Bellows and who else? Give me one more. Kiefer Bellows. I need another random. Oh, also one more side thing. If you guys do like shots on goal, Kel McCarr against Detroit. If you can get his 3 line, Detroit's I think got a bottom 10 offense and or defense and hockey against defensemen. So Kel McCarr, that was one of the ones I circled and highlighted for me. Again, not a big shots guy right now, but decent. Where's Kadri? Kadri's got a fantastic history against Seattle. No goalie confirmed yet. Might be Decord, might be Grubauer. Again, Decord struggled of late. I wouldn't be surprised if they throw Grubauer in there. Regardless of who the goalie is, I like Kadri a lot right now. He's been kind of leading that team right now. He's been leading that team, and he's been really good for a point. He's significantly better at home as well for a point. At home against Seattle, fantastic for a point. Also, sneaky little Matthew Coronado, who's been ripping puck lately. His volume's kind of on a nice way up. I think he scored a goal in every game. Hey, he's got a goal in 3 straight games now. 4 goals in his last 2 games. You could see this one coming. Matthew Coronado's a New York guy. He grew up on Long Island. So he had all of his family at all the games, and he just went off in all 3 of them. But Kanji scoring? Was that Imama, I think his name is? I don't know about that one. I'd be pretty shocked to see that one. Johnny Brodzinski's top 6 today for the Rangers. He's playing with JT Miller and Alexis Lafreniere. Yanni Niemann, he ripped his first game. He just hasn't ripped since. I'm kind of scared off by that. A little bit of inconsistency. On this side, I mean, you want to take a look at someone hot. Where's my boy Quentin? Quentin Byfield's got a goal in 8 of his last 10 and 7 straight at home. Quentin Byfield's hot, still plus 320 for there. If you want to take a little bit safer, plus 106 for a point. It's got a point in 9 straight home games. Point in 8 of his last 10 overall. Byfield's been hot. That line with Byfield Fiala has been really good for a point. Significantly better at home for Fiala as well. And on the other side, finally the last 2 games, I've finally seen that Kuzmenko line click. I haven't seen a lot of Kuzmenko, Kempe Kopitar. I thought they looked really good those last 2 games, and obviously they scored 7 goals, so it makes sense. This line stack might be finally coming back into play if they could play like that. Against the Rangers, Shesterkin's been great of late. He's really been good of late, kind of trying his best for this team. One of the best goalies by goal save I've expected in the last 10 games. 4th best. I'm not going to bet against him right now. I think the Kings win. I think it'll be a close game. I think this will be a pretty boring game without too many goals. But I like Quentin Byfield. All right. We're right at that 45-minute mark where I like to be. Like I said previously, if at the 7 p.m. games live bets are open on FanDuel, I will be live on Twitch today for a little bit of live sweat action. So guys, keep an eye on that over on Twitch. If not, I'll just be kind of updating you guys throughout Twitter, so you guys will have to hear me bitching at players that are doing a poor job at their jobs. If you guys aren't already on ProfitX, please, code Cheddar. Get you up to $300 back in bonus bets across your first month. Available in 40, 50 states, so it's a great option, especially in some of those non-sportsbook states like California, Texas, etc. Working on player props very soon. We are, because I've had a couple people ask me this, I will be going into some MLB streams. depending on the day, depending on the NHL slate, it's going to be an NHL focus on basically until playoffs are over. But to continue the 5 days a week, if we ever have like a 1-2 NHL game slate like that, we're going to then go into MLB and do kind of a quick MLB cook-up. There is a full player prop of menus on ProfitX for MLB, and that is already done, so there's nothing to wait for. If you guys have not already, use code Cheddar. You're going to get the best lines for basically every player prop market available on here. And again, $300 back across or 300 bonus cash back across your first month. Thank you guys so much. I'll keep you guys updated on Twitter if I'll be back later today. And yeah, thanks for all the support, guys. I will be back not tomorrow, another small slates. I'll be back Thursday. I'm going to be pushing the tomorrow stream to Sunday because Sunday's at a better slate. So I'll be back on Thursday, 4 p.m. And then I'll let you guys know about later tonight. Peace, guys. Thanks.